So when you go into negotiation and when you pitch your price or your product, do not come in super low. Do not come in at a low price, because you need that room for negotiation. You need that room to create that FOMO and capture that leverage to make them do what it is you need them to do. Because at the end of the day, when they say yes and they agree to commit to you, or they agree to sign that dotted line, or they agree to exchange their hard-earned money for whatever service it is that you provide, they need to be absolutely confident that you are the right person, right? And that they're getting a great deal. We need to paint that picture. What's up, everybody? There's one thing that you need in any negotiation, and we're going to negotiate a lot, whether you're a salesman or not. In order to get what you want, you need to really know how to negotiate, not only with yourself, but with the person who actually possesses the very thing that you're going after, whether it's a job, whether it's a sale, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a promotion, whatever it is, you need to understand how to negotiate. And one of my mentors taught me a very valuable lesson that has helped me with all the negotiations that I've had throughout my lifetime, and that's all about positioning. And what I learned about positioning was that there's one fundamental ingredient to positioning yourself properly in any negotiation. And today, I assure you, you're in some way, shape, or form, you're going to negotiate something, whether it's a sale or whether it's a commission or whether it's a transaction of some sort. And when you position yourself, what you're looking for, that fundamental ingredient, is leverage. And so today's video is going to be about how to find leverage. And there's an interesting, thing that I did with my team not too long ago, where we kind of made our engagement with our prospects like a game. And the game was more or less kind of like a treasure hunt. And there were certain words that I had my team look out for or listen for that became gateways to leverage. They became bridges to leverage. And these keywords were things like, high, right? Like high. Another keyword was like hope. Another one was if, and another one was want, right? Like, so these are certain words that you want to look out for, because when you hear them, you are able to create leverage from them. And so, for example, like the easy word high. And so we have an option where whenever we interact with our prospects, we can use traditional wording, wordplay I like to call it, or we can be creative and simply revise the words that we use to foster deeper engagement, to get a little bit deeper emotionally. And emotion is not necessarily, like when you think about emotions, I'm not talking about like TV dramas. I'm talking about their emotion, to the point from where you capture their interest, you capture their attention. And so high can alternatively be turned into hey. Because when if you think about it and you really like kind of just admit it, right? When you hear the word hi, it's most likely it's coming from a stranger. But when you hear the word hey, then that's more or less coming from someone that you know. And so just that little flip is powerful enough to capture the attention and hold on to it just long enough to where you can capture more of the attention and kind of generate the curiosity. And that's ultimately what we're doing, right? And so another example is want. And so whenever we engage with our prospects, we always hear what they want, right? Well, alternatively, you can find leverage by simply adjusting that word want to need. And so if your prospect calls and says, hey, I want to hear more about the special that I saw advertised, we can understand that deep down, the reason why they want that is because they need something, right? It's not necessarily the advertisement. It's not necessarily the number, the price. There's a reason why they need it. And so that word want that they state, that becomes our bridge to leverage. Does that make sense? So again, alternatively, like instead of just their wording, we can also pay attention to our own words. And so try it out today. So instead of calling your prospect or doing outbound calls and saying hi, or even sending an email and saying, hi, my name is Daniel. You want to be like, hey, Jim, this is Daniel, right? So it's more or less like immediately our prospects are kind of deciphering whether or not they know you and they're kind of shuffling through their memories and be like, Daniel, right? But what am I doing in the meantime? I'm actually speaking to their subconscious, because while they're trying to remember where they know me from, I've got their attention, and I have this open window into their subconscious where I can start planting seeds. I can start, building curiosity. I can start extracting information that's going to help me get to the next step in the conversation. That's ultimately what we want. And so try that out. And alternative, also, when you think about when you tell yourself, like, I want to make a sale, change that word to need. Like, I need to make a sale, right? Your demeanor, your momentum, your energy changes just by the simple adjustment and replacement of the word, or the exchange of the word. And so say, hey, I want to be successful. No, I need to be successful, because now you're coming at it from a place of you can't lose. Does that make sense? Now let's go to another example. So like hope, right? Like we starting from ourselves, like, man, I hope I make this sale. Right? Instead of saying hope, you could put will. So I will make this sale, right? It's no longer hope. You take a little bit more control. But also, when you hear from your prospects and they say, well, I was hoping to maybe, get cash out. Or I was hoping to get this price. I was hoping to, deep down inside, there's something that they want. And so how do we create leverage from that word hope is we start utilizing the word will. Okay, well, what I will do is I will show you how you will get it. Does that make sense? Not hope. Because the reason why they're hoping to do something is because they're questionable. So they're not yet truly convinced. And so when you start sprinkling the word will, like, okay, well, this will, or I will, you will, then what happens is you actually start to break down the insecurity and you find the confidence. And again, that's what we need, because with confidence, we start building towards commitment. And in negotiations, again, the single fundamental ingredient that you need in positioning yourself to win that negotiation is leverage. And all you're trying to do is extract as much leverage as possible so that when you get to the negotiation table, you're able to achieve it. Got it? All right. So one last piece about negotiation, whenever you get into a place where you're about to present your figures, you're about to present your price, this is a very valuable lesson that I see being done poorly as of late. And it's primarily because a lot of salesmen, maybe they're somewhat new, and they have this misconception that they need to come in low, otherwise they're going to lose the deal. When it's actually the opposite of that. Whenever you go into negotiation, you need to be higher than anyone else. The reason being is because if you come in low where there's no meat on the bones, you trimmed all the fat and there's no lower that you can go, you have nothing to run off of. If that particular prospect says, oh no, okay, I'll think about it, right? Because again, you got to create leverage. And so if you can paint the picture where you are at this high price, but if they agree to do, A, B, and C, then what you can do as leverage is ask or request for an exception or a discount. And so now what this becomes is an exchange. Again, you're negotiating, right? So I scratch your back, you scratch mine. And all you're doing is positioning yourself to scratch their back because you want them to interact. You want them to do and comply with whatever you need to be done in order for you to even get to the next step. And so whether whether they need to get you documents, whether they need to, dig up their tax returns or the income documents or find you that pay stub or bank statement, that's something that you're asking them to commit their time to. And everyone is going to look for the easy way out, right? So everyone's going to decipher whether or not they want to invest their time, because their time is something that we all want to protect. We want to protect our time. They want to protect our time. However, if you paint the picture that if they agree to commit that time to find those documents and get it to you as soon as possible, now you have a carrot, right? And that carrot is the leverage or the idea of them getting that discount, and then kicks in the FOMO effect. So when you go into negotiation and when you pitch your price or your product, do not come in super low. Do not come in at a low price, because you need that room for negotiation. You need that room to create that FOMO and capture that leverage to make them do what it is you need them to do. Because at the end of the day, when they say yes and they agree to commit to you, or they agree to sign that dotted line, or they agree to exchange their hard-earned money for whatever service it is that you provide, they need to be absolutely confident that you are the right person, right? And that they're getting a great deal. We need to paint that picture. And a lot of times the reason why salespeople make the mistake of coming in low is because they just simply don't understand that our prospects don't know what's going on behind the curtain. They don't understand the certain intricacies of how we do things on the back end. Does that make sense? We do. And so because we do, and we understand that it is an option to come in with a discount, or it's an option to knock out $500 or X amount of dollars, then a lot of us will just go right for the gusto, because what we're doing, what the salesman is doing is just looking for that easy transaction, looking for that easy sale. But the problem with that is, though, man, is that if it's too easy, it's not going to have any glue. And what's going to happen is your deal is not going to be able to stick. You're not going to have any of that loyalty, right? And in this market, in this day and age, you have a lot of competitors. You have a lot of competition that's going after the same fish that you're going after. And if you're not positioning yourself properly in that negotiation, you're going to lose it to your competitor. And then you're going to get burnt. You're frustrated because you spent a lot of your hard-earned time, same thing that we're all trying to protect, in trying to get that person to buy from you or do something with you, right? And if you take the concepts that I've shared within this video, if you're catching it late, go revisit it, go watch it again. And the positioning in itself, because again, negotiation is part of our everyday life, especially if you're a salesman. You negotiate for life. You negotiate to live. You negotiate to pay your bills. You negotiate to keep your lights on. You negotiate to have this damn phone that you're watching this video on. So I implore you to understand the power of leverage and understand how certain words can change the dynamics of the conversation and the engagement, not only with yourself, but with your prospect. And I promise you, you'll actually see better results. I want to show you a few things. If you go to salesremastered.com, I got a present for you. It's a free script that's going to share a ton of value, not only at how to generate deals outbound and cold calling, but also how to make it a laydown when they call you versus your competitor, because you just got a couple minutes of shine. And if you want to understand the idea of positioning, go get that script. It's absolutely free. There's no money involved. And the only thing that you need to do is use your personal email address. Don't use your business or your work email, because it'll bounce it back. Go to salesremastered.com. Again, salesremastered.com. Link in my bio, link below the video on these notes. And if you look it up, you'll actually get to a section on my website where you get a copy of the free script. There's a ton of value in there. I got a video directory in there. For those of you who do purchase loans, I got the perfect realtor script in there. And I even got a link where you could reserve a couple minutes where you and I can have a strategy call together, and we could talk about certain hurdles that you're having trouble with. And maybe I could just give you that one piece of advice that'll set you free, and you can start gaining some traction and some ROI on the time and energy that you put in. I appreciate all you guys' attention. Definitely have a most powerful day. And if you haven't already or new are here, please hit the subscription button, share this video with someone else who needs to see it, and don't forget to like and comment. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.